Hello, non-existent viewers. It is I, TVB, your ungrateful host. And I'm here for their 5th Skizzo Rambling. And, I wanted to make this video on Valentine's Day, February 14th. But I was door dashing that whole evening and I got back to my uncle's house and I was just like, nah, I just want to eat food, watch videos, and go to bed. And yesterday, on February 15th, which was Discount Candy Day. Honestly, Discount Candy Day, February 15th, is a much bigger deal for me than, actual Valentine's Day, for some reasons. And my mom was like, hey, let's go skiing in Vail today. So it's like, yeah, let's do that. So, we met an old family friend of ours, and we skied, all day, and, got back last night. We just had a really good day. It was my first time skiing since January 2020 because Indra had us over at her place for a few days. Excuse me. My apologies, I burped a lot in this video. We skied a lot, in Vail and Breckenridge and Beaver Creek and Telluride. That was my first and only time ever skiing in Telluride. I was in January 2020. I was right before COVID hit, and I was in Telluride, it's a small town with a big heart, and even bigger mountain to ski on. Yeah, Telluride is such an awesome place. But yeah, it feels very refreshing to just ski one day after not being able to ski for 3 years. Yeah, 2020 being a year ago, it's February 2020 was the last full month before COVID lockdowns and all that jazz. And yeah, I want to make this video because honestly, Valentine's Day is kind of it's an unholy anniversary in a weird sense. I just say, you know what, fuck you, Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is just a day where couples are happy and some people are angry. But the day after that is February 15th. One of the stores put a discount on the candy, so I said, hey, Discount Candy Day, that's where it's at. Fuck Valentine's Day. Discount Candy Day. I want it February 15th, Discount Candy Day. Because Valentine's Day, St. Valentine being beheaded on February 14th, just like St. Patrick, being beheaded on March 17th, it's hey, they're both supposed to be Catholic saints being beheaded on their respective feast days. They're supposed to be super hey, this is respectful in origin, but here we are 1,000 years later, hey, those 2 days are just days where you get drunk, St. Patrick's Day, again, March 17th. Nobody cares about St. Patrick getting beheaded for the Catholic Church on those days. It's just a day where hey, Irish Americans have a very special holiday, and yeah, I love St. Patrick's Day, I love Valentine's Day too, but it's been devoid of those meanings. Honestly, viewers, I dream of a day when May 30th, that's Joan of Arc's feast day, because Joan of Arc was burned at a stake on May 30th. I dream of a day when May 30th, Saint Joan of Arc Day is, people celebrate that same way they celebrate St. Patrick's Day or Valentine's Day. I really want to see that happen on a day, because Joan of Arc is my favorite saint. Because, here's the thing, Joan of Arc is the original feminist icon. Not this bullshit, feminist, shit we get in the news nowadays where girls oh, men, bad, women, good, but no, she was the original feminist icon. So, hey, women can be heroes too. If Joan of Arc as a teenage girl can lead the French to victory against waves of English invaders during 100 Years' War as a teenage girl, during the 1400s, I guess to overcome every challenge I face. Whether it's due to my mistakes or stuff that's beyond control. And also, man, I'm getting off topic. I want to make this video. I really want to give a very special shout out to Dillyrax Gaming, because he gave me a shout out in his Flash review. And he's like, hey, I gave you a shout out to this reveal, and I was like, oh, dude, thanks. That means a lot. He's been a big support of my channel for a while now, and hey man, you working at Subway and you just making that grind and just chasing your dreams, I appreciate you a lot, and hey, you are a wonderful human being, and don't let any filthy fucking politicians tell you otherwise. And yeah, this is the fifth Skizzo Rambling because I'm like, oh man, I'm talking all this shit about Valentine's Day because 3 years ago was the day when like my ex and my ex-girlfriend Sarah, she was in my Birds of Prey review, you know, when she, myself, and my friend Forrest and we like reviewed that movie like again, it's like a month before quarantine hit. That was a little DC with Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. It was a good movie, but you know what? The Suicide Squad was like a lot better. Again, that was like, you know, her as Harley Quinn was like way better. Yeah, Sarah's in that video, and like our first date, my first date with Sarah was like January 31st of 2020. And yeah, we went on a date, like, because both of us were busy on actual Valentine's Day, so we couldn't see each other. And the day after that, it was like February 15th, discount candy day. Say, hey, you know what, I'm getting some discounted candy from Target, so she got me some Kit Kats. I was like, oh, thanks a lot, Sarah. And then we would see American Idiot local theater in Loveland. You know, the local theater there. And yeah, it was such a great night, and we kind of, as we like, you know, were in love with each other, and then like we were official, and then yeah, we were like together for 5.5 months. Excuse me. Oh goodness. Yeah, yeah, that didn't work out obviously, but you know, I've talked about my ex-girlfriend in quite a few of my videos, and you know, we didn't have bad terms. I got nothing against her, and I hope she's doing well, because she deserves it wholeheartedly. But anyway, I want to make this video just like, you know, this is the fifth Skizzo Rambling. Like, once in a while, I make like Skizzo Rambling videos where like I just talk about life and how things have been going. Last one was back in December when I was in Nebraska, and yeah, I gotta say, being in Nebraska for 12 weeks, those, honestly, just not just that, but like being in Colorado Springs for 7 weeks too. The past 6 months, you know, leaving Fort Collins have been like the best. It's changed my life. It truly has. And I'm immensely grateful for like my family, my friends, for getting me to where I'm at today. And yeah, I left Nebraska at the end of January, and I'm staying with like family here in Denver again. You know, I've made quite a few videos here at my uncle's house within the past few years. This is just because anyone who's followed me on YouTube enough for a while now is like nuts, but like I grew up in New Jersey, but my grandparents were out here in Colorado and Denver, and my grandmother passed away May of 2017, and yeah, and part of the reason why I chose CSU for school so I could visit her, my uncle, more often. And you know, she passed away, but my uncle, you know, God bless him, he's been such a fucking saint for the past few years for me and my mother and everything, with, you know, my parents' divorce and all that stuff. I'm just really grateful for everything. And yeah, it's like between like, you know, these like grace periods, because I was actually on the phone with like one of my coworkers at Dogtopia, because I worked at dog daycare in Fort Collins for 14 months. The day for my W-2 forms, and yeah, like I got that job back in June of 2021, and that job was really great for me. And after I graduated from CSU in December 2021, I worked there full time and worked my butt off as much as I could. And yeah, everything since then, you know, being an unpaid intern, it's ultimately a privilege. It really is a privilege because, you know, honestly, viewers, and with being in Nebraska for 12 weeks, you know, being in the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo for 7 weeks, and moving off to Nebraska, the Riverside Discovery Center for 12 weeks, I wish unpaid internships were illegal. Or at least, like, if you can't pay your interns, at least provide housing for them. I really wish that can be a reality one day, where nobody, or like, cause hey, there's so many people who can't earn their dream careers that just can't afford it. It's too expensive. And hell, even it was too expensive for me when I was in Nebraska, because I was at Riverside Discovery Center, and it's like, oh man, I gotta like find a part-time job, juggle this internship, or I can't pay the bills to be out here. And I just wish that every internship provided housing, or a pay of some kind of compensation. There should be something like that, and it's a shame ultimately. I mean, look, I'm not a liberal, I'm not a leftist, but I hear people say stuff like that. Oh, you gotta like capitalism is evil and all that jazz, and I'm like, okay, I just want to hear those people out. But anyway, this video being like 3 days after Valentine's Day, I want to say something. When I was in Nebraska, so Sarah and I broke up July of 2020, and after we broke up, I started using Bumble, I started using Hinge, and I've met girls, like first dates and flings, stuff like that, but like it wasn't, in Nebraska, I had somewhat of a relationship, a short-term relationship with someone, and for her sake, I'm gonna keep her anonymous for this video, so I'm gonna call her Misty, because we're both huge Pokemon fans. And yeah, I still ship Ash and Misty to this very day, because I grew up watching Pokemon anime and playing the games, and my sister and I was like, oh, Ash just kissed Misty already. Yeah, I hope that, that, oh my god, I would love to watch the old school Pokemon anime. And yeah, we met on Hinge on Black Friday back in November, and at the time between October of this past October until December of 2022, I had no intention of like staying in Nebraska. I was like, okay, I'm like out here for just unpaid jobs, just get the experience in the zoo field and learn as much as I can, and go on to other things. It wasn't until December 2022 when one of the zookeepers there, she left that zoo for the National Zoo, and yeah, you know who you are, for watching this video now. Like, thank you so fucking much for like educating me as much for everything. Like, again, those 12 weeks in Nebraska like changed my life. And when I heard that position open up, it was like, hey, because you should apply for being a zookeeper at that zoo. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I applied, and I was like, you know what? If I get hired at the zoo in Nebraska, like, here's the thing. Like, again, I'm very grateful for the new adventures and new quests, but at the same time, I can't last. It's like, how much longer will I have to keep moving every 2 to 3 months for more unpaid work before I actually get hired? So, oh god dang it! Excuse me. Burp a lot of this video. Yeah, just be more and just like intern until I get an actual employee position somewhere. Because if I get hired at the zoo, it's like, hey, I met Misty, and I was like, if I stay here in Nebraska and get hired for an actual job, like, I could actually have like a real girlfriend for the first time in like 2.5 years. But again, I'm not angry, I'm not bitter about this. They chose other candidates, and they said, hey, Vitas, we're gonna be really, we gotta be really transparent about something, like, we chose another candidate. And yeah, so in that region of Nebraska, there's nothing for me career-wise anymore. So yeah, it just is what it is. I quit my job at Safeway because at Safeway was I worked there and as a cashier, and it also opened my eyes, and I'm really happy for the people I met there at that place too. They were super cool as well. But yeah, I was really sad to leave, not just because of the missed job opportunity, but think about her, and we still talk to this day. Again, we're both huge Pokemon fans. I have not played Sword or Shield or Scarlet or Violet, but I did turn on my Switch for the first time in a while the other day, and I played some Shining Pearl. And yeah, I should probably get Scarlet or Violet at some point and play that. Yeah. But Misty and I, we watched Wednesday together on Netflix, and Wednesday is such a, and I don't watch that much television, but like, Jenna Ortega is such a phenomenal actress. I can't wait to see her in Scream 6, and we just had a blast watching that. And yeah, Misty, she's such a precious little, she's so precious, and again, I'm so happy that I kind of was a companion and all that stuff. And we also saw Puss in Boots The Last Wish. Puss in Boots The Last Wish together. God, I can't speak tonight. And yeah, that was just, that, honestly, you know, when I made my top 9 best movies of 2022 video, I give a movie an honorable mention. In retrospect, if I had to make the video again, I would probably bump that movie to the top 6. Because the last Puss in Boots Last Wish, honestly, up there with Mitchell's versus the Machines, is one of the best anime movies we've had. Well, I've seen in a very long time, and I just want to say this right now: if Turning Red wins the Oscar over The Last Wish and Pinocchio, when the Oscar ceremonies come around, I'm gonna turn red myself and just like scream and rant and like make a rant for that. Oh man, The Last Wish was just. It was a great movie. Antonio Banderas is, you know, Puss in Boots, and like Salma Hayek as, you know, Kitty, and like Florence Pugh as Goldilocks, surprisingly. But that movie was just, it was so good. That and The Bad Guys, like DreamWorks is going through renaissance right now, while Disney and Pixar are like flopping horrendously with, again, I like Lightyear, I like Turning Red, they're both good movies, but like, they're just, those two films, compared to Pixar standards, are just mediocre. I haven't seen Strange World, but I know that film bombed horrendously too. I wanted to see Strange World, but I was door dashing that night. I was gonna see it. My phone died in the middle of DoorDash. I was like, no! And I was like, I don't want to see a movie anymore. I just want to go home and sulk. Yeah, I mean, Disney with Star Wars and you know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, I mean, 2022 is a rough year for Disney, but DreamWorks, they're getting it right. And if Last Wish wins that Oscar, like, I'm gonna like, oh man, I'm gonna be so happy, because that film, it was, I was excited to go to Puss in Boots The Last Wish, but it exceeded my expectations so far, and it trumped the, you know, its predecessor. And the Shrek movies, I really will hope there's a Shrek 5 at some point, because DreamWorks, they're getting rid of the animation, is so great. But yeah, we saw that movie together, and we also celebrated New Year's Eve together, and I gotta be honest, I'm practicing anger management, because I still struggle with teenage angst, and, you know, just feeling like, oh, I wasn't cool enough during college, because I'll admit, you know, being like, you know, going to CSU for 4.5 years, I didn't, like, you know, I wasn't, like, I did some things I'm not proud of. I've talked about it in previous videos before, and there's other things like, oh man, I wasn't, like, cool enough, I didn't go to girls enough, I didn't, like, party enough, or whatever, or all that jazz, and sometimes I feel like I'm just, like, extremely inadequate. But, like, here's the thing, viewers, if other people talk to you the way that you talk to yourself, your mental health will be way worse than it already is. Yeah, at the Riverside Discovery Center in Nebraska, the new director, because, let's just say this, the new director at that zoo, I'm assuming he's still there, he's fixed more fuck-ups in that place within a span of a month than the old director of that place did in 6 years. And we had a really nice conversation, because, you know, he's ex-military, and, you know, he struggled with PTSD and bipolar disorder, and he said like, you know, you need to learn how to, like, not trust your brain, because if someone called you a hopeless idiot who should give us in his dreams, would you want to be friends with that person? No, I wouldn't. Or if, like, your manager or your coworkers called you a hopeless idiot who should give us in his dreams, would you want to, like, keep working at that place? No. So why you say it to yourself? Because I always trick myself into thinking that that I'm a hopeless idiot. Because, for a variety of reasons. I mean, you know, I'm making YouTube videos. Like, for example, I make YouTube videos for the past, like, 9 years. You know, this October marks 10 years. I'm not 2,000 subscribers yet, I still haven't gotten monetized. And I'm like, should you, just, like, quit making videos? No, because I love making videos. This is, like, one of my favorite hobbies ever since I was a kid. Ever since I was 15, and, like, you know, I look at all the people that, like, watch my videos or, like my videos and stuff like that, or I watch their videos and make arrangements like that, like the LRXCA, for example. People who come on my videos and like my videos, say, hey, good work, keep up the good work, and people like my videos, and like, no, even if it's like, even if it's small amounts, you know what, I'm an artist, this is my gallery, these are my paintings, my various videos, I'm gonna keep with it. And if you don't like what you see, well, hey, the doors are there, get the fuck out. And yeah, that's my TED Talk for tonight. Thank you so much for watching this video. Man, I got some editing to do, and I really, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for watching this video, and I really hope that 2023 is just like a badass year for you. Because I have pretty good expectations for this year, and I hope you do as well. So, follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, and stay beastly. My name's TV9. You guys have a good night.